it's almost like night and day.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I'm looking at it from that perspective, I'd be a little bit more concerned about Oath than Veritas, because Veritas got 41 points on Erangel yesterday.
Sure.
And now we're switching over to Erangel. Now, Oath yesterday got 33 points on Miramar and just did not find that same success. Now, that being said, both of the circles that we saw on Miramar were not very good circles for Oath. And honestly, they weren't really good circles for Veritas either. So, you know, I guess I'm not too surprised to see a little bit of a slowdown, but we'll see how things turn around here on Erangel. Okay. We'll see if they get a little bit of love going their way.
So, yes, I get what you're saying. Maybe we shouldn't put too much of a microscope on it, but the problem is this slowdown hasn't happened to the Soniqs. We saw the gap that we had at the beginning of today, 4 games into this event, that it was about 11-point lead that Veritas had over Soniqs in second place. Soniqs now have a 13-point lead over Veritas, who are now sitting in first place. And so when you're looking at either Oath or Veritas, not necessarily so far today, we're still only halfway through, so far building up the same amount of points. But then if you're also looking at the other teams that we thought would be the real contenders for first place, whether it's SDK, whether you even want to give a nod towards Zenith or Dodge, when they are also having a hard time having bang out days, and the Soniqs are having at minimum a B+ day every single day, I don't want to call it this early, but so far this is looking very, very similar to how Soniqs ran away with PCS2. I mean, we're going to see a lot of teams running into each other. That's just the nature of the beast when you're looking at a military island, because everyone's forced to push into an area that is incredibly difficult to find information until you're, well, already there. Balefrost takes a lot of damage, though. Returned down to 1 HP. Monhardy is trying to push up, give some big support to his teammate. And the down on the pad caps hasn't been revived just yet, so when I open, looking to capitalize on that, but here comes Stakers and Reloads on the flank, pushing through the smoke, not going to get spotted out. They do spot Balefrost, who's just trying to stay safe inside the grenade, and he able to get Monhardy immediately flushed as well.
Oh my God.
Tried to call the push from Reload, but Reload's going to get the kill there, and One Eye Open are eliminated in 16th place. Oath up with 4 still. Their first goal is get safe themselves, because support hella all they want. If they get taken out as well, then that just does nothing for her or the entire team.
True.
But yes, Rumblers so far haven't peaked onto that position to take hella out, and as SDK pushing forward into the Hardshift's zone of control. They're taking a hill position, a good spread, but it's not a strong position. The circle is also completely unawares, and Halo, good capitalization. Catches Lobes, not paying attention. That nade doesn't go far enough.
Halo gonna get another one, and Civ, meanwhile, is rocking the bolty. We've seen him he's been doing it lately. He's been playing that bolty lately into the late game. I mean, it's not too shocking to see somebody rocking a bolt early on, but we've been seeing Civ rocking it to the late game lately. So we'll see if that continues here as Hardshifts gets surprised. The trap gets sprung. Oh, unfortunately, Civ not going to make it to the late game as SDK once again losing somebody early on here.
Luke having the high ground on them as well. This hold, it looked good at the start from the Hardships, but completely just torn apart bit by SDK. Halo gets another onto J-Sank. That's it. That is all done. That is everything for SDK. 4 kills. Uncivil did get taken out in the meantime, so they do trade their teammate for it. But considering it's a military circle, that is, and it's SDK going to a military circle, that is a trade they take every day. And with a shift like this, they can just take this hill, and they can try and establish control on this western side. Yeah. At first glance, losing Uncivil I didn't think it was going to be that bad, but considering Purdy still had to make his way across the river, it meant that Luke and Alo would have a hard time establishing control of this hilltop in Tactical 8, even though they only just now executed onto Luke's position. They still were putting pressure on them and didn't allow them to really spread out and get comfortable. But here, as you mentioned, do come Illusion, not only to potentially clean up the rest of SDK, but even Tactical 8, not allow them to get control. They're still on the hilltop. They don't want to commit to a fight just yet because the circle is about to close in. But they're the only ones, because a lot of teams from the southeast side are taking these hills here and being put in very uncomfortable positions because of the blue.
There you go. Illusion going to find Purdy Curdy. So Alo now the last one. We check in back with ATC. They are, well, they're alive. That's about all you can say for them right now, as Veritas has kind of got them a little bit pinned here on the edge of the circle. We see the new circle does pop, goes pretty much exactly where we thought it would, and Gas Cans getting that compound love. We'll see if it ends up playing out in their favor towards the late game. Meanwhile, Zenith, Veritas, ATC all down here on the southeastern side of the circle. You also have the duo of Danny G and Lampalot for Dodge that are playing the compound around here that could get involved at any time, but this is some weird terrain to fight around here, Cam.
This is very similar to the previous game on Miramar, actually. And ATC, it's very uncomfortable for them. The losing sharp shot. They're able to isolate Michael. That looks to be a good grenade by Marcelic, and he's going to get taken out. But again, just all these blows against them. It's just Marcelic alone, and he knows that Zenith are prowling on the prowl. They smell blood.
It's a beautiful placement for Zenith as they continue to wrap around on top of this. Marcelic going to try to stay alive for a little bit longer. I feel like he knows his time is about to come. We'll seat swap to the other side of the UAS, but that's just going to open him up to Cherry Poppins, who takes him very, very low. And that's just going to be one more bullet from Roth to get the finish there, as Zenith picks up 2 kills off of all of that. Veritas still alive. Michael hasn't been flushed out. They still have D-Treats and Keenan as well. Well, they had D-Treats. D-Treats gone. Keenan, I think, the only one alive, and look at where he's at. He's actually north of Zenith right now. So he's
actually the king of flanks.
He is.
A bit wide this time. He's gonna have to go.
Took a little bit long,
Michael, but there it is. Unfortunately, comes just a little bit too late. Can't blame him too much, though, as you said, this is a very difficult terrain to play around. A lot of teams get mixed up amongst each other, and now Fable coming into the party. Kickstart does get dropped by Rip. People want to take advantage of this situation, but Punij up front going to be holding the line on a side angle, giving information of where Fable are going to be pushing from. It's a long distance for them to push, so Kickstart should be revived without too much worry. But the blue is going to be pushing in on them, and they're just not yet in the circle.
Yeah, I think Fable does get that down, but I don't think they're going to push on this. I think the better play here would be to try to get inside the circle, gain some position, and maybe do a little gatekeeping. But the problem is, I don't think they know if there's somebody in this compound, which is occupied currently by Lamp and Danny G. So Fable playing it close to the vest for right now, just being a little bit safe. I think they have spotted out Lamp, though, and I think they do realize that that compound is occupied. Meanwhile, Duel, still inside the military base, keeps taking shots up towards Zenith. So Zenith is a little bit of trouble. We also have a little bit of a scrap breaking out on the northwestern side of the circle between T8, Illusion, and Rumblers.
Fabled right now, yeah, they're a spot in the Dodge compound, but they're going to wait for the blue to come in before they make a decisive decision. Over here, the blue is forcing Illusion to make a decision of their own. None of these teams, Tactical 8, Illusion, have really been able to establish control. They removed SDK, sure, but now the Rumblers have come in from the bridge. They're the last team to make their way over towards Military Island, and now they get the shift in their direction as well. But look at this widespread by Soniqs. This could be very greedy of them, but they're trying to third-party all that they can. Tickle 10 getting some good damage onto Fabled.
This is Soniqs taking up a lot of real estate, as you said. It's looking pretty good for him. Duel, meanwhile, is lighting up your kill feed as they continue to find knocks and flushes over onto Zenith. Still have to see them make their way out. Meanwhile, Fabled still trying to deal with this dodge problem. I'm not sure who that throwable was aimed at, Greg Shot, but it was a mile off as they will make their way in. They have taken care of Lamp a lot, but Danny G is still an issue, and Danny G is an issue for Zenith as he's going to find the knock on a kickstart. It looks like he's gonna wipe Zenith. Danny G with the solo plays will wipe Zenith before eventually going down to Greg Shot, and now Fabled still have 2 up. They have control over this eastern side. But they do have to worry about Sonic. They got to get inside the circle. They've got Soniqs. They've got Duel and Comets to the south. Meanwhile, in that compound that Gas Cans was occupying, looks like the western side of that compound has been taken over by Oath. So 2 teams in the compounds and then a bunch of teams working around on these hills right now.
Duel now forced to leave from the military base itself, but they're pushing up to the hill. They know comments are here, so they're not pushing too far.
Oh, this is so hard. Ooh!
That looked brutal, the timing of that prone, but he gets a knock anyway onto Yaxley.
This is such a hard push here for Duel, and the fact that they're doing it with 2, they need to get Cherry and Wooly over here. Look, hey, looks like they're going to get in the vehicle. They got the opening down, which is huge, but this is a very, very difficult uphill push from Duel. See if Comets can hold them back. As we see the kill feed is still lighting up as T8 and Rumblers have now run into each other here. Some preventative Molotovs here from Comets. They're trying to at least set the battlefield up in their favor for the time being. It's going to hold Duel from pushing too hard right now. Keep an eye on Monty. Monty with the low flank here, but also Lynxy now coming in. And what is Rip doing? Rip now coming in with the third party. Duel could get absolutely roasted here. They're going to find Monty, but Rip is going to take down Lynxy. Meanwhile, Cherry just pushing forward. He finds 2. Vegas is down. Leda is down. Rip is down, and Duel wins the fight. But what cost have they paid as they now lose Wooly? I think Wooly might be able to crawl into the blue. I don't know if he can do it. No, it looks like, yeah, he's done.
So close. The shift does go into Duel's favor off of this phase 6. But yeah, Lynxy, Wooly and Lynxy both going down. It's just Penta and Cherry. But that's such a strong duo here on the western side. Technically still alive. They both took part in taking care of Illusion just a couple of moments prior. But look at this flank by Weem and Zealot as well, not allowing Rumblers to push up the hill. McCoy spotted out. It's all into Los' shoulders right now. Smoke's out to try and give him some room. Soniqs coming in as a third party. But Los is going to get found out anyway, and Tactical 8 still alive on this hilltop, still 3 up. It looked like a very, very difficult position for them. All these teams coming in onto their doorstep, but they have 9 kills off the back of it. Cherry trying to use those sandbags, but the problem is that's a little bit of grenade bait. And over here,
there you go.
Need to push to Oath, and Oath gonna have to push over the road themselves. The Titokusen finds Cherry, that's huge. It's all into Penta's shoulders right now, and as good of a player as he is, still a hard ass to 1v4 the Soniqs by himself. Grenades coming in, and that easy does it. Once again, the Soniqs find themselves in a top 4 position and have an even better control of the circle than they did in previous games, previous arrangements.
Clinical stuff there from Soniqs, clearing out that with a minimum amount of risk being placed onto them. Duel does go down in 5th place, but not a bad game for them. Meanwhile, T8 have lost Zealot, but they still got Steezy and Weem. They have been causing problems all throughout this map. 9 kills already. We'll see what Oath decides to do about them. Oath not having to leave their compound just yet. Gas cans, meanwhile, also kind of in the same position. Soniqs just kind of over the top. Oh, nice grenade from Relo. It's actually surprising that Oath still has as much utility as they do. As Weem, well, he'll just go down to Mime. That'll do it for TAC 8.
Not much they can do in that situation. It's just all this pressure coming out from Soniqs. You can see just immediately when it took out Duel, they spread out. Tickleton and Adrian going back over to the side, and they get the circle shift in their favor. Oath knew that they were going to have a difficult final few phases. Yep. A shift being close towards the edge, and at least now they take care of Tactical 8 before it's too late. They can move across that road, but the only for them to do so is either a mass amount of smokes or hope that the Soniqs deal massive damage to the gas cans.
Yeah, and there's no real reason for Soniqs to push any further into gas cans right now. They've got so much circle to work with. They still got the high ground. Oath will start laying those smokes down, try to get a good wall going, and see if they can maybe take the gas cans by surprise, maybe get through the Soniqs without taking too much of a casualties here. Meanwhile, Nikos and Voxic working the side, trying to land some shots in, prevent Oath from crashing it. Balefrost is going to hop into the buggy, and well, I mean, you got to your death faster. That's about it. Pat Cap's going to use that as a distraction, though, and it's actually going to get him up there. Good position here from Pat Caps. Not sure if he's been spotted by Soniqs. He's actually kind of right out of their line of sight, and Relo actually still using the smoke here, as Oldless somehow did not have a line onto this.
This could be big with both these players, Relo and Pat Caps, right on Gas Can's doorsteps. Nice. Does have the angle, finds out Relo. It's out of Pat Caps, forced to pull away because Gas Cans are on the push and he gets taken out. but it doesn't matter. It's the consolation prize for gas cans, because just the spread that Soniqs have had this entire time, they know.
Oh,
Riding on the wall. Shrimzy with one, Atron with a second. It's all into Voxic. 1 versus 4 against Soniqs. Penta couldn't do it. Can Voxic?
Voxic's done some pretty nutty stuff in his career. We'll have to see if he can hold off from at least one side. Oh! He's absolutely insane. He just absolutely destroyed H-Win. We tried to get the push on. He spots out Shrimzy. Shrimzy going to land some nice shots into Voxic. That's going to give a little bit of time here for Tiggleton to push up. Tig has got on the side. Mime will come around the angle, and he'll find him. He's going to get the finish. And that's going to be another 10-kill win for Soniqs. Second win of the day. And the points just keep on climbing.
All my life I want money and power, respect my mind, or die from last child. I pray my dick get big as the Apple Tower, so I can fuck the world for 72 hours.